there's a mic behind that.
Yeah, I knocked it over.
This is really intense.
Pumped for this.
Alright, let's start.
Okay, so let's introduce. Basically, what we're doing here is a podcast to summarize a week in review. It's called Content Commentary. We're going to do this every week.
Awesome.
It's going to be posted on the weekend sometime. Not really sure. We don't have that power.
Yeah.
That's
not our issue.
I'm Jack Lukow. I'm the video guy.
I'm Steve Boyle. That guy.
General
coverage, writing stuff guy.
I'm Catie with a C, not a guy.
And I'm Noel Purcell. I'm the man.
Nice.
He's resident smartass.
That's being very generous.
We're going to cover articles over the week and just keep going deeper. We're going to cover the story, cover if anyone knows who wrote it and what happened, or
awesome.
You know, and then we're going to talk about the comments at the end of it.
I'm very excited. Can we first off talk about how Penn State's cloud is going to be named Box?
Oh,
the least imaginative name ever.
I mean, I just don't
Not to be
understand.
confused with Dropbox or iCloud or anything else that they're ripping on.
I mean, it says box inside a cloud. Nowhere else is there a box except for the actual entire diagram.
Of course.
But I just imagine
so hard.
a table full of 50, 60 executives all making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
The guy says, we need to name it something. What do you put things in? The guy's like, a box. And everyone just applauds.
Yeah.
Yes! Yes!
Have it!
Nailed it!
As residence finance major, I'll say that's exactly how it happens.
I think E. Beaver was taken, so we went with Box.
I have another thing to talk about that I'm really pissed off about. Can I say that?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I hate the We Are statue.
Okay.
One,
It's
I
fancy.
think it's dumb to spend that much money on another statue that does nothing but say "We Are," which is a slogan everyone already knows.
It could have been worse. It could have been giant statue of Penn State lives.
It is just janky.
Revealing and
looking.
embarrassing. I have to disagree. I think it looks cool. I don't know.
No, of course not. Okay.
I don't know how much money it was,
Not worth it.
but at the same, I kind of like it, but I think I'm more or less just convincing myself that I like it.
Yeah, too.
I'm in Noel's boat. I like it. I think it's a decent enough statue. It is much better than Penn State lives here.
Yeah.
It's so uncreative, though.
No, yeah, that's my issue with it. There's actually so much cool art on this campus, like the circular fountain in front of the theater
I
building.
like the creepy silhouette things.
Yeah, with the guy like projecting his soul out or whatever.
Spiritual center.
Yeah, the Pasquilla or whatever.
Shit out of me.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool art, and this doesn't. It just looks like not up to par. I mean, it's like cool. It has a cool message, and it looks modern and stuff. But
There are people to like pose next to and hurt themselves when they're drunk.
That's all I imagine is most of the campus is going to find it because while texting, they're going to get an E into the I.
Yeah.
They could have picked the sculpture, Rec Hall Beautification, or Penn State Hershey Center for the Protection of Children donation.
well, that they made the right decision. Because that's super important. So that some people like, never mind. I don't want to talk about this.
More
subject
brand.
anymore.
Are there any comments on the sculpture?
I'm
Dumb.
sure
Dumb.
No.
You don't say dumb.
everyone is either stupid or love it.
This is a good comment. Another case of where contracting out the creative process was a poor decision. As if Penn State lives here didn't already teach us that lesson. I agree. The idea for the gift was good. The execution is kind of meh.
Wait, Andrew definitely wants some time here. Hold on. All you assholes do is complain about shit. We have like 7 sculptures / statues on campus. The Nittany Lion, the erect stone penis outside of Willard, the businesswoman running away from the business building, the globe outside of Old Main, the kids having way too much fun in alumni garden.
That's creepy.
Beaver's massive crack rock outside of the stadium and Joe Pa statue. Wait, never mind.
See, could have been done better. Why wasn't a student architect involved? To which I responded, because he's not an architect.
Can I spend some time on this guy's face? Okay, well, Happy Valley documentary. That's super important. That's huge news. We have this giant movie being made about Penn State.
I always get worried whenever there's any documentary about anything that happens here, especially with regards to the scandal, about like the inherent bias that could be a part of it.
I would watch
Unbiased
anything
about a
really.
child rape case.
No,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, they're gonna make them look like buttholes probably. So we have beat this story to death. This whole like documentary coming here, but none of them have had this glorious man's picture on it before.
We're gonna keep going back to
I'm
that.
sorry. We can
Has
move
anyone
on.
commented on that? Like,
No.
Looking through the bucket list posts, and the first thing is Bandorama. What is that? Bandorama.
That is a
This
thing
the
that
60s.
happened, except that Matt
That was
Freeman
cool.
was twirling in it at some point in
That's
time.
all that matters,
he's
right? That's all anyone cares
he's
about.
Wait, none of these sound fun to me.
Get thrown in the air. I never want to do that. That is dangerous.
Oh.
Sounds
Get
a bunch of
empty.
drunk dudes are like, yeah!
Last time I was at a game, I saw the tiniest little girl literally
They
get
have to be
launched
tiny.
into the air.
Like, and they're waving their arms, and from far away, maybe on TV, you're like, they're having such a good time.
No, they
But
are.
up close, there's terror.
They're-
We made a video out of 7 bullet point lists.
End it with a slow. Go out on the slow mo.
Did they have anyone else auditioning for the voiceover, or did they just get stuck with the guy?
no
who's-
amazing guy came.
Like,
He's like, I always dreamed of doing this.
Just
That was
sounded
terrible.
bored.
I don't know who he is.
Just
but
bored.
There's this scene in Arrested Development. Ron Howard is insulting the voiceover announcer of a different voiceover while doing the voiceover.
Yeah.
It's
And that's
great.
exactly what I'm feeling right now. I don't understand why you just like. I mean, first of all, Penn State creating a bucket list program. Like, that's something revolutionary, like nobody's ever had a piece of paper and a pencil before. But on top of that, I'm
It's
excited
not
to see the
making things
restrictions on there where like the things people actually want to do aren't on there, and it's all like,
Or like, you should be more responsible.
yeah.
That's too much alcohol.
Has anyone here had issues with the Palmer colored tiles of death?
Okay,
I've seen.
I live in North,
Okay.
so it was a daily occurrence.
My heart was crushed because I wanted desperately to set up a camera
Oh,
and just
man.
supercut
That's, yeah, but
people
that's
falling.
so weird. It snows. Because then
Alright.
you can't even see where the colors begin and end.
And then
'Cause
just
I like
hit a
view
button.
around them, and when there's snow, it's just like.
A good story about those tiles. My freshman year, I'm walking back to class. I lived in East, and I was walking back from a class in the Forum, and there was this girl I'd been sitting next to for like a week and a half or so of class. I'd become like friends with her. I was talking to her, trying to hit on her, and it's like it's like raining out, and there's like leaves everywhere and everything, and I'm talking to her and like having a nice conversation. Hit some wet leaves and eat absolute shit. I smacked the ever-loving shit out of my head on the tiles and concussed myself. And I never did go out with that girl.
Alright, but can we? Alright, Sarah Desdary, the author of this article. I mean, the way she writes this is just so.
It's good.
Like seriously, she even says, "Okay, I think that like that's a bit dramatic."
No, it's
but literally,
not too dramatic.
literally
I
she says,
hate them. I
the
hate
tiles
them.
are gone now. Their reign of terror over. No more breaking into a sweat as the thought of walking to Forum in the rain. Like,
I make a point about one of my favorite comments of the week in here.
is it on this one?
It's on the actual website, not the Facebook. Katie comments,
That's
Katie
not
with a
on.
K this
Not
time.
me.
If
It's
they
on
did
Facebook.
this, they should just
Oh.
go ahead and take out every brick sidewalk on campus. Every time it snows, those bricks just turn into a
That's
giant
not
icy
true.
sheet that is 10 times more slippery. Because that's how ice works.
So all the sidewalks
Yeah,
are heated.
all the sidewalks are heated from underneath.
Like
Even
you
the
come,
thing-
you're
we're-
downtown and it's like
Yep.
death, and then you cross
Cross the
college,
threshold.
and
Yeah.
then it's like this
Yeah.
is awesome. The only way we can improve. My friend goes to Minnesota, Sorry, I said that
Minnesota.
wrong. And they have tunnels because it gets
What?
so cold.
Yeah.
And they're
Oh.
gophers too.
Yeah, I used to live in
So they have
Wisconsin.
underground tunnels.
It's bad.
So I kind of wish we had tunnels. That'd be cool. But I mean, we have the catacombs
Yeah.
technically, but those are like,
Off
If
limits.
they were
Yeah.
heated tunnels.
Because people like die in catacombs.
yeah.
Is your syllabus breaking the rules? I thought this was
Always.
a pretty good one because every teacher
Always.
breaks like almost every rule.
I think maybe if we, as a group,
Yeah.
stand up against this tyrannical overlord.
I mean, some of them are just like I've had teachers who changed grading like at the last day. Like apparently, according to your academic rights, which are hilarious because I'm sure that we have them, but nobody is aware of them. Like, I mean, what are we gonna do as students to be like, you know what? Like, each course's grading criteria must be outlined for you in the first 10 calendar days of semester.
I feel like if this were to take effect, our syllabuses would be individual
Oh,
trees. We'd
yeah.
be sitting there, we could.
Yeah.
You'd have to like sign them and hand them back. I
Okay,
feel
speaking
like.
of syllabus week, and it's a new trend, like in my department, I don't know if there's anywhere else, where I actually have to sign something that says I read the syllabus. Have you guys
Really?
had to do that ever?
No.
I thought by
I've had
staying
it,
in
yeah.
the class, you accept the syllabus.
Oh, they said, don't do it now, wait till you've read it. And I said, all we did today was listen to you read it to us. I'm good. Like, I'm good with that. I'm gonna sign.
I think that's what
She
we
was-
should do as a group here. I think we should say our names and something interesting about ourselves.
I'm gonna leave. The Franklin merchandise, Frank Lion, really?
No, they're pretty terrible.
Really, that's
They're,
awful.
they're pretty
They
terrible.
call Bill O'Brien Bill O'Lion for him leaving. Like, that's a little confusing.
When people first found out Bill O'Brien left, one of the more liked comments was like, Bill O'Liar. Like, that's the best you could do. That's the best pun you could come up with.
I mean, I'm glad that you guys are talking about I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh,
Frank
That's like
Lion.
my whole point. Like, all these people wore these shirts and was like, believe, and now everyone hates Bill O'Brien. And, like, we just
They
hype
donated
these
them to
people up.
charity,
Like,
apparently.
at least Joe Paterno, like, had, like, a bunch of wins, so when people wore the shirts, I was like, awesome. Bill O'Brien came here and everyone was like, we gotta print this. We gotta put this on a t-shirt because this guy's gonna blow us out of the water.
It's because the sound of printers on T-shirts to Penn
Yeah.
State is also the sound of printing money.
Yeah. If it turns out to be a putz and now you bought this stupid shirt.
Yeah, now, well, I swear,
Yeah.
now I wear my Believe sweatshirt,
It's-
but ironically.
Bill Drew came down here from GQ, formerly KSK, and he commented about how State College is a town built around slogans. At the time, it was all the Paterno shirts at that point, and whatever the hell else. And he's like, "There's 800 different slogans here. Can they just pick one and
I
print
have
that?"
a comment. Tyler Neidig said, "Where are the Frank the Tank shirts?"
I'm okay with this.
That's actually better.
Let's go back. Let's go back into Coach Franklin's ridiculous public relations that he's been doing recently.
The
I want you to know-
selfies.
We were gonna invite him to blow up balloons at one of our parties.
I
Yeah.
actually did on
Yeah,
Twitter.
I was
Coach
gonna
Franklin,
say.
if you're watching this, you're still invited. It's Saturday.
If he doesn't take that,
He promised.
you
He
know,
promised.
It's his fault.
this is a bad
We'll-
start.
we'll have balloons.
This is a bad start.
I think we should-
But in all seriousness, the selfie concept is probably the best PR I have ever heard for a coach.
Probably.
Absolutely.
Because it's really easy for him right now. Because A, everyone knows him, and B, he has nothing to do
And
with
it's
his
free.
time.
Exactly.
It's out of
What's-
season.
He's our first coach who doesn't like abhor social media. Obviously, Joe Paterno was 8,000 years old, so he had an excuse. And Bill O'Brien just
I
didn't
just
like
broke.
media in general.
I just
Didn't like,
broke the illusion. I'm sorry. I just poured water into my coffee cup.
No!
and so having a coach is actually like, oh hey, like I know what Instagram is, and like we'll take selfies with people as opposed to like. I don't know. I feel like if I tried to think of selfie with Bill O'Brien, he'd punch me in the teeth.
And Bill O'Brien seemed a lot less approachable than this character.
Yeah,
I think
he
it's
seems
good.
like a nice guy.
Maybe-
Why do people care?
Because the football coach of the school gets elevated to God status.
I know, and I hate
That's
that.
how it goes.
for the group, if anyone stops us and wants to take a selfie with us, he won't.
I won't. I believe they steal your soul.
Are you Amish?
No, I think it's Instagram. I think you
Amish.
sell your soul to
So
Instagram.
Amish people believe that.
Like a tribe in Africa, not the Amish. The Amish just don't know what a camera is,
Okay,
probably.
luckily we have the internet, so I'm gonna do. Yeah, but what about Amish Mafia show? They don't watch our own
They're
show.
gonna come after us. Yeah, that's what
Oh.
they're gonna do.
You just proved your own point wrong. They're on camera.
Let's talk about how much our viewers apparently hate the entire concept of a swear word being
All right.
written down in an online article.
Do we get called out for that a lot?
All the
Yeah.
time.
My first article, I curse in my articles. That's what I do. I'm here to write like jokes. That's my thing. And so I cursed in my article, and this woman had to be maybe 75 years
They're
old.
usually over 50.
And they're like as though we're inherently a family website, even though we're a college student life like news.
Yeah, I project our viewers to be 18 to 26. Like that's
No, dude, it's like old ladies
No,
and
no,
stuff who get
Our
angry
our
about stuff.
target audience is that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're like pets for their like
So then,
street fish.
but
But
for
hey,
me,
it's
like if you're not
ridiculous.
in the target audience, don't be surprised when you're sometimes offended.
Like,
by younger
cool.
people.
And unlike most Penn State media, at least people actually read our stuff enough to complain
Oh.
about it.
Oh.
He commented and said that curse words are never acceptable under any circumstance. Period. Give me one reason why. And the woman says, virtue. I commented on her and I said, ma'am, I apologize, but you're 70 years old. I think we have different definitions of virtue.
My favorite comment of the week was evil James Franklin.
He's
James
yet to
Franklin
hone his
did it.
character, though. Give him some time.
Yeah, I understand.
It's a crap.
I'm hoping it'll pick up. That's all I'm saying. But either way, the first article by Kevin Powell is, if you want to be respected when you write an article, you should start by not swearing in it. And of course, the first response is, oh, fuck off.
Said it's pretty damn bad in something, and then I got all these comments back where I like freaked out and I thought that I'd written something actually terrible. And my thing that bothers me is people say it's unprofessional, to which I respond, yes, it is, because I am not a professional.
One guy told me to use insults more similar to the ones Loki used in the Avengers, to which I said, you realize that's because it's a Disney movie, right? So he can't
And he talks
curse. And he also talks like
Like
it's
a Shakespearean-
1538. Exactly. Like, if you ever hear me say like muling quim to somebody, I want you to take me out back and shoot me in the head because I deserve
Like a
it.
mewling quim.
Well,
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
I'm a boring white kid from Long Island. Like curse words are all I have.
I wrote a post, 15 reasons you know you're a townie, because I was born here and I've lived here my entire life. I got several comments saying that this was ridiculous. It wasn't even written by a townie. Meanwhile, the like actual picture, like feature image, is of my high school graduation at State High. But yet I'm not a townie, according to all the commenters.
I feel like our viewers that comment range from either the one-word geniuses, yay, that was good, okay, all the way to you were the worst writer ever. I hope you die in a fiery pit of hell with them.
And it's usually like an adult who's saying that to someone who is 20 years younger than them.
My personal and Kevin Horn's personal favorite, Slow News Day. For literally anything that somebody like, it was on the colored tiles of death. Somebody commented, "Slow News Day." You're 60 years old, sir. It doesn't apply to you anymore because you haven't been to state college since you were 20. Your picture is you playing like saxophone.
I just got really scared.
Yeah, I just got really frightened. Your picture.
Kill Bill, man.
No, that's why I got frightened. Like I was expecting somebody to put something in my IV.
Like, there's no way you're under 50 and your picture is you playing a saxophone. I'm sure.
You think you'd be used to the slow life?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is at my pace now.
Oh my
Easy
God.
listening.
Like 2 articles a day, I can handle this.
Exactly.
I can handle it.
He's 7. He should really be worried about slippery surfaces. Hips aren't cheap.
Right?
Oh, kind of icy.
Please complain about as much as you want. I prefer it if you complained on the YouTube video. That would be nice.
If you have any
Yeah.
complaints for
In
us, if you
person.
dislike any of us, in person you can actually like come up to us and tell us everything you
Okay,
dislike.
or
Me and Steve really-
title it, I hate you at Noel at onwardstate.com.
Yeah, go there.
That's a real
Right,
address.
I'll get the email right on my phone, right here, and I'll respond to you live while, well, not live. This is
It's not live. It's for your notice.
I hope they get creative with like cool comments. Like for instance, that boy in blue is too pretty to do podcasts. That's fine.
Or doing a video.
I'm
so.
wearing blue.
I meant you.
Wait,
I
can we
love sports,
highlight
but I
the
don't
picture
write about
that's on
sports.
the Mark Emmerich calls James Franklin delightful, and it's
Yeah,
him with a
that is
spatula
really,
going
really
like
funny.
this.
I think he's starting off to a good start. He got
Yeah.
called delightful. That's good. That's
but
always good.
by the least delightful person.
By people who aren't in jail, he's probably the most hated person in State College, Pennsylvania.
Is he technically in town? Like where is that prison? Can we
I
visit
don't-
him?
Because I think that is the worst thing I have ever
What?
seen. Did you read
I didn't.
the how to break your sexual New Year's
All right.
crap?
Yeah.
Whoa.
All right. I actually have a
This is like
response.
Christmas
I wrote a
tree.
response
Hold on.
article to the Jill one. It was like
Yeah, that's the one I'm
our
talking about.
sexual
Who
New
is
Year's
Jill?
resolution.
The Jack and Jill counterpart.
Yeah,
thing?
that's
okay.
because they're the least creative people on the planet.
Right.
But I wrote a response to that, and it was basically
Jill talks about her sex resolution.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep, and it was basically like I'm as much of a feminist as you can possibly get in a straight white cisgendered male,
I already
and
have-
it made me want to kill myself.
I already have problems with the first line.
What is
My
it?
weaknesses when it comes to the opposite sex are just like any other girls. Already I'm being roped into this,
Wow,
and I'm
that's
not
the-
okay
that's
with
like
it.
the worst-
This sentence right here.
You could say I've had a lot of sex.
Oh, dude,
Some may
have you
call
played
that
Pokemon?
slutty. I
That's
call
not
it
mine, but
experience.
yes.
Just say it.
She just told me to get over it, so I'm gonna decide not to.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like
don't know.
happy with women like owning their sexuality. I think it's awesome. But if a guy, like,
Exactly.
it's not any different for a guy. If I wrote that like article, it would just be more inappropriate. Like,
We should probably get a like stable chair for someone who likes sports. Like,
Probably. You do sports.
I do sports. I can do that.
I do sports ball. I know sports ball.
Sprots.
Sprouts. It's
all right. So
wait, before I ask, is it pronounced Buki or Book?
it's spooky.
Is that also
It's
Deaky or Dyke? I want to know.
It's Deaky.
Deaky. But my friend's professor the other day said Dyke, so now I'm confused.
How old is he?
I did not ask.
That'll probably answer your question.
Yeah.
Little more likely.
I'm gonna ask the resident foodie here. What was
Okay.
Fresh Harvest?
I actually
The worst.
what there once. It was like everyone really liked it because it had a lot of healthy options, which is probably why they didn't do so.
Business
People loved
person.
it. People were really upset
Alright.
whenever they. Well, I'm still upset about Pizza Heaven, so I
Yeah.
kind of can't
But
comment.
we a little contrarian on Fresh Harvest. It was actually my least favorite place I've ever eaten in State College.
You're contrary,
and I was
as in it's the worst place you've ever eaten for college. Okay.
restaurant. Was
So
gone.
basically-
I actually
it
had
was
a
a-
candlelight vigil when Growlers went out.
No,
They have
I-
candlelight vigils for everything.
I painted River's entire apartment black, and I didn't leave the house for 6 months after they closed Grillers.
But for the record, it always sucks when someone loses their business.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No matter
what.
what.
We're not rooting for the unemployment rate to raise any higher.
Like on the comments, everyone says that they're crying.
So let's talk
I'm
about
sure they're crying.
this crazy alumnus that's planning to walk across America.
Oh Lord.
I didn't even see that.
I don't even like putting in the effort to walk across campus. I take the goddamn link.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
we're gonna.
In front of me.
How is that for
How
the
is it
kids?
going?
Like,
I have
he's
no
just
idea.
walking.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's gonna
one
People
help?
thing
sponsor the
FTK.
trips.
Oh, it's FTK.
No, listen.
we're right around the bend for Thon coverage, and that's gonna dominate our lives. So I mean, this is just
I'm
like
getting
little
it out now.
previews. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it's cool if he sponsors. He wants to walk across the country, but like, I mean, how does that work? Like, you sponsor him for how many miles? Like, we know how many miles he's walking.
No, it's like whenever
we have the map
you do like
already
a
drawn
race.
out. Yeah.
People sponsor you because you're running.
Yeah, but like a thing called Sense of Hope, and it's the number of people you pass in the marathon.
Right.
People
Okay.
donate a
It's
certain amount of
terrible,
money per person you pass. It's a great organization, senseofhope.org. There's your shout out, Hubert. Like that
Brought
would make
to you
sense,
by
but what are you doing? Passing the entire 6 billion, 7 billion population,
It's
person
FTK,
population?
Noel. It's FTK.
Yeah,
Don't
I
question
guess
it.
I'm not allowed to
FTK.
question it. It's sponsored by Pfizer. That
We're not sponsored by.
Not at all. We're done giving shout outs
Laser
until
Pro.
you pay us.
Laser
my
Pro.
mental stability is sponsored by Pfizer, so I guess the show's a little bit sponsored by Pfizer.
Is Pfizer medication?
Him, brought to you.
They're the biggest like pill manufacturer and
We learned something.
pharmaceutical
Really?
company on the planet.
That's why they can sponsor.
I guess I'm
Oh,
technically
okay.
sponsored by them too.
Oh,
Depending on what the weekend's
Nutrition
like.
professor.
I'm sorry. That's a joke. That's a joke.
That's a joke.
It's a joke.
No.
How do you consider yourself a journalist? That's such a.
I know, it's very low.
I told you,
Next
that's
thing,
exactly
next thing,
why I
next thing
don't.
you're gonna use a curse word,
I
and then you
know.
really won't be a
Hey.
journalist.
Hey, this is a family.
This is a family
Show.
podcast.
This is a family show. It's true.
Sit down with the kids, have a bowl of cereal.
And for
Yeah.
the children watching, my body is a temple. I would never pollute it with pills. It's also a temple in the sense that I've had an ordained minister inside one.
One, two, three. Ah!
Isn't that the worst when people disagree with you?
Yeah.
Right? Like, my opinion is right.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it-
They're right.
like there
Do
is
you
a
know
thing-
where I work for?
Yeah.
Okay, we won't say names, but didn't someone once try and cut through an entire line screaming, "I'm with Onward State"?
I
Didn't,
hope so.
like an entire bar line, like, "Do you know who I am? I'm with Onward State." Like tried to cut through a line.
I think
feel-
that's
I
you.
feel
You're
like-
just.
I feel like
To be honest, I've done a lot of bad things with Onward State.
I've done some terrible, terrible things in my life, but
This is
I don't
really
think
heavy.
I've ever gotten to that point. I've attempted to use my media credentials to like get into some place,
Yeah, I
especially
have
a
my little
bar.
pass that I've never used ever. So.
We
My
get
sister's
those.
always like,
Yeah.
Onward State podcast. That link you didn't mean to click.
That link you wish you could
Can
take
you
back.
put
Onward
that
State-
voiceover over our for
That'll be
high
the,
five?
by then that'll be credits.
Like
so that's what
Onward,
it'll be.
Onward State podcast. Oh shit, I was looking for overheard.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
I'm stuck in that director's
Anyone
eyes
that ever
again.
accidentally
Right? Every
like
time I
reads
scroll,
the
it's
site
gotta
ever
stop.
Yeah.
was actually looking for overheard.
I feel like he knows the world better than I do.
All right, so
Your soul.
He's haunting me.
like just I want that as my screensaver.
I want to
Just
watch your movies.
Look at that. Look at that.
The
Look at
pat-
that.
Okay, try that again and look into his eyes. Say you
it
didn't
to
like
his
his
face.
movie.
Say it to his face.
So
I
true.
know.
I have to fire
Like,
you.
good night.
Oh, I fire you.
Are you gonna do the credits like over like just like fading out of us?
Like,
all
fade
talking?
out some
But, you
music
know,
and we can just look like we're talking.
I have to go through. All right, so any articles that we talked about will be found down there, under the show more. Yeah, like
That's why I
down,
wanted to do
down
the
there.
pointing
Press
thing.
press all the good buttons. Make sure you keep watching us
The
with that.
thumb?
With that, yeah.
With
push
that one?
The one that, not this one, not
Not
this
that
one.
one.
This
This
one.
one.
This one. The one that goes up.
Yeah.
The one that keeps you coming back, and the one that tells me that this was your top video that you ever watched. That one.
Ever.
That one's nice.
Ever.
I really like that one.
Yeah.
Ever.
Ever.
And all the comment below, you know, in that little box, tell us how much you hate us,
We'll get
and
back
then
to you on that.
we'll get back to you on
And
that.
if you have any specific comments you saw this week or anything that you want us to address next time, drop them down there too. We'll see if we can get to them.
And we'll post any articles we talked about in the little info box below this video here.
Word up.
All right, thanks for watching.
Stay classy.
Stay classy.